Alright, so now that we understand why we have chosen the metallicus ecosystem, the first thing we have to do is establish us a WebAuth wallet, okay, a crypto wallet. Now remember that the WebAuth wallet is created for both retail and institutions. Okay, so it's an all-around wallet, and it's BSA, AML, and KYC compliant. So it is one of the most compliant wallets that you will find in existence today. It is also a very user-friendly wallet, meaning ease of use. And you'll see that after we have established the wallet and actually get into the ecosystem. So in this video, we're just going to establish our first wallet. To do that, we have to go to webauth.com/signup/username. I'll stick the link in the description of the video so you can just simply click on it and not be taken to the wrong website. So here on this page, we have to establish our username. It has to be a minimum of 4 characters, a maximum of 12 characters, only lowercase A through Z, or numbers 1 through 5. So you can't use 6 or 10 or 20 or whatever. And you have to make sure that the username is available. So the longer you wait to establish your WebAuth wallet, your username may not be available. Okay, 1. But we're all capital letters, and it has to be lowercase letters, so TGA 1. And that is available. Let me try something real quick. Yeah, maximum 12 characters. So here we go. We are going to do TGA YouTube. TGA YouTube. So whatever name you choose here is going to be the @ username that people will use to send you money, or for you to send other people money or crypto or what have you. Okay, so this is your username. Instead of a long string of letters and numbers, this private and public key, you just simply have a username, and that username is tied to your identity, and therefore you have a digital identity. They don't need to go in here and prove that you are so-and-so by requiring you to produce this passport or this ID or this, that, or the other. Once you go through this process and establish this wallet and then go through the KYC process, they know who you are, and they don't need to find private information in order to determine if it's you or not. Okay, so it's a digital ID that establishes that this is who they say they are. So I'm going to use TGA YouTube. That's going to be my username. Again, you just have to have a minimum of 4 characters, maximum of 12 characters. It has to be all lowercase, and you can use A through Z and numbers 1 through 5, and make sure that the username is available. So there's what I'm going to use, TGA YouTube. I'm going to hit continue down here at the bottom, and that's going to take us to the public name. Now the public name is not going to be shown to the public, right? But it is going to be put onto the blockchain and established on the blockchain. For me, I'm just going to put Jeremiah. That's my name. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put Jed. Okay, because that's what I go by. That's what everyone knows me as. So Jed is going to be my name on the blockchain. Now I can change this later, but if I change this, it's still going to remain Jed on the blockchain, no matter what, as you can read in this section here. Okay, so go ahead and read that real quickly, and then we will move forward. And you move forward by clicking continue. Now it wants to know to select a device type. Are you going to be using an Ethereum account? Are you going to be using a YubiKey so you can touch your finger to it on your desktop or laptop? Or are you going to be using Windows Hello? In this case, I am establishing this on my desktop, and my desktop uses Windows, and so I will be using Windows Hello, and I'm just going to give it the device name of Windows Desktop. So you want your your device name to represent whatever device it is that you're using. So if you're using a mobile device, you'll want to put like Apple iPhone or Samsung whatever, right? If you're using a Windows, you want to put Windows. If it's an Ethereum account, you want you want to establish a device name that lets you know what device it is, because you can switch between all of these devices, between your phone and your tablet and your desktop and your laptop and all the different devices that you may or may not have. You can switch between all of them, but each device needs to have a unique name so you know which device you're using when you go to select the device you want to use to sign a transaction in the metallicus ecosystem. So again, device name, just make sure it explains to you what the device is so that it's easy to reference when you go to choose a device to sign with. Hit continue after that, and then because I use Windows, it's going to require me to put my PIN in. My Windows PIN is the same that you use on your Windows to unlock your Windows. If you're using a mobile device, it will probably scan your face or require a fingerprint or what have you, okay? But in this case, I'm using Windows, so I got to put in my PIN, and then it'll take me to, well, it lets me know that it has been established, that this passkey has been saved, and now I can use Windows Hello to sign in with my face, fingerprint, or my PIN, right? So again, my name is TGA YouTube, and it's established on WebAuth.com. So I just hit OK, and when I do, it's going to take us to another screen, which I will have to blur out. So here is your recovery phrase, and it's going to be 12 different words. Everyone's going to get a different set of words, and the order is going to be different, all these things. What you need to do here is you need to take out a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and you need to write down the number and the word, and make sure you spell the word correctly. Okay? So this is in case things change in the future. You'll be able to select just the word, no problem, but write down the number, write down the word. They must be in order. Guys, this is your private key. Do not ever, under any condition, ever share these 12 words or the order in which they are to anyone at any time. These are your private keys that allow you to reestablish this wallet, and anyone that has these private keys, these 12 words, can use it to import your wallet into their device. So I wouldn't even use the copy button, okay? Do not put it in digital format in any way, form, or fashion. I'm warning you right now. Anything that is digital is never lost. The NSA has it. Everything digital is logged and kept forever. Even when you delete it, nothing is ever truly deleted. Don't take a picture of this. Don't use the copy function. Get you 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of paper and write these 12 words down in order, the number and the word, and store this in 4 to 5 different locations, maybe one at your house, maybe one somewhere else at your parents' house or your children's house or something like that. Okay, but you do not want to make this digital in any way, form, or fashion. No picture, no copy paste, none of that. Keep it offline. These are your 12 words that allow you to import your wallet if anything ever goes wrong. I just cannot stress it enough. You write these down. You do not copy paste. You do not take a screenshot. None of that stuff. No, you don't email it to you. Nothing digital. Write it down on a piece of paper, on 2 or 3 of them, stored in 2 or 3 different locations. That way, if there's a fire or whatever, you always have a backup copy somewhere, so you can always import this wallet that you're creating into WebAuth at any given point in the future. But whatever you do, write these down, number and word, right now, because in the next step, you're going to have to put them all back in order. Okay? So let's hit continue. Okay, this is why I told you to make sure you write them down. Now just stop the video at any time and do the step, and then click play again and continue to the next step. So now, as you can see, I've got all my words covered up, but I've got to put them in to those slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got to put them, the words, in order to show that I have wrote these down and I do know what my recovery phrase is. That's these 12 words. That way I can recover my wallet should anything ever go wrong. So I'm going to cover up the numbers now as well as the words and go ahead and input these in the proper order. Okay? Let me get started. And this is just going to take me a second, and you guys are going to have to take your second and do the exact same thing. And again, this is just verifying that you did write it down and that you do know the order and that you will be able to recover. After you have put them in the proper order, every word into the proper order, 1 through 12, go down to the bottom and click continue. Now it will like your email address, so go ahead and put your email address. This is where it will send you whatever it needs to send you, verification codes, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let me cover that up and I'll put in my address. And when you come down here at the bottom, you want to check both of these, but guys, please go ahead and click on this, read the terms of service. I've already done this when I set up my very first account a long time ago, and your privacy policy. That way you understand the contract that you're in with the company Metallicus. Okay? After you've checked both of those and put your email address up there, go ahead and hit create account. And now it will have sent, if you know, once you put your email in there, it's verifying that that's your real email, all that kind of stuff. Just copy it, what the numbers that they sent you in the email, and then just paste it in right up here. Doesn't matter who sees this, it's not important, it doesn't matter, it's temporary just for this moment in time. And then you go down to the bottom and hit confirm. And once you have done that, it will want you to put your PIN in or use your Face ID or your fingerprint or whatever, depending on what device you are on. I'm on Windows. It's going to have me put in my my PIN. Once that is established, you now have a wallet, and guys, it is that simple. It literally is that simple. So in the next video, we will begin to use this wallet and use the metallicus ecosystem. But before we could do any of that, we have to establish our WebAuth wallet. Again, this is a very secure wallet. And as you can see, you got XPR, Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? But over here, XPR, Bitcoin is XBTC, Ethereum is X Ethereum, Ripple is X XRP, Tether is X USDT. Instead of BNB, it's X BNB. And the reason for this is because when you move your tokens from, say, the Bitcoin blockchain over to the XPR network, what it will do is it will, on the original blockchain, so we're using Bitcoin as an example here, on the original blockchain, the custodial holder is Fireblocks, which is a institutional custodial company. Okay, Fireblocks is who all of the major banks and major institutions use to custody their crypto. Okay, so this is the best of the best of the best custodians. So what happens is, if we're using Bitcoin, what happens is Fireblocks will lock the, well, it's not actually Fireblocks. It is a smart contract that goes onto the Bitcoin blockchain, and it will lock up the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin blockchain, and then it'll wrap that. It's locked up, it's held on the Bitcoin blockchain, or the original blockchain, and then the contract will wrap that token and turn it into a X token, so XBTC, and put it into your WebAuth wallet. Your Bitcoin is still on the Bitcoin blockchain, not over here on the Metallicus blockchain. It's locked up on the Bitcoin or the original crypto blockchain, and it is held there until you decide to move it out of your WebAuth wallet, out of the Metallicus ecosystem as XBTC, back to the Bitcoin blockchain, at which case it will destroy the XBTC and unlock the BTC over on the blockchain. Even if you have more BTC, now that you've done all this decentralized finance and earned yield and all these things, you got more BTC, it will unlock whatever amount it burns on the X side. So say you start out with 10 BTC and you move that over here to your WebAuth wallet, and I'll show you how to do that in the next video, how we move from other chains to this chain in order to be able to do decentralized finance and to earn yield. But say you take 10, it'll lock it up and it'll be custodied by Fireblocks on the Bitcoin blockchain, and then that same smart contract will then wrap it and make it XBTC, and you'll have 10 XBTC. Let's say you mess around in DeFi and you get all done and you got 11 BTC. We're just making up numbers here. 11 XBTC, and you want to move it all back to the BTC blockchain. Then all you have to do is just take the 11 XBTC and move it back to the blockchain, and you will have 11 regular BTC on the BTC blockchain, on Bitcoin blockchain, unlocked and available for you on the original chain. Okay, but when you move it from the original chain over here and wrap it, and it's on your WebAuth wallet, then at that point there are no gas fees to move BTC or to move ETH or to move BNB, or there's no gas fees at all in any way, form, or fashion. Okay, it's incredible what they have built on the XPR network, guys. So you have a wallet. We'll catch you guys in the next video, and in the next video we will show you how to get your crypto from other blockchains into your WebAuth wallet.